How in the hell did you pull Simone Biles?
Really, how she pulled me, man? That's the question.
Oh,
man.
Lord Jesus.
Hey, it's Fine Girl Diamond. Welcome back, Fine Girls. Let's get into this drama. So, Jonathan Owens, I know, right? You don't know who that is, but just so you know, that is Simone Biles' husband. That's what most people know him as, Simone Biles' husband. He recently went on a male podcast show and he was basically saying how he was the prize and Simone Biles basically should be lucky to have him. I watched the entire podcast and I am not taking anything out of context, but you can let me know in the comment section below, okay? So let me give a little background story first. 3 years ago, Simone and Jonathan, they began talking to each other. They met each other through a social media app and they had to basically there was a few more steps than your standard app to demonstrate that you are who you say you are. So they both were on this app. Simone saw him, swiped right on him, or however you do it. She saw that the two of them matched, so she decided to reach out to him and message him first. So I won't tell you the details of that, but just know that that is initially how they met. I have no issue with dating apps. I'm sure they were both busy, and it was also during COVID, so it's completely normal for things like that to happen, especially during those times. But he claims that he did not know who Simone Biles was, and I don't believe that one bit. It's ridiculous. And I think he's most likely probably one of those men who are trying to quote unquote humble her. Because when they went on the first date together, which you'll hear about in this video, he had to take pictures. He had to hold the camera so Simone Biles' fans could take a picture with her. And I guess that was the moment he really realized, oh, she's that girl. So when you start off with the full video, it starts off with this red pill male that's a colorist, and he's just spewing his colorist ideologies about Jonathan's light skin and how they're both light skinned. And then the other interviewer says that he's not light skinned. So then Jonathan ends up saying, well, I'm caramel though, as if I guess light skin is the goal. It's really weird. And by the way, Simone Biles, she is a gymnast and she's an Olympic medalist. She is that girl, just in case you didn't know. I'm sure you do know. Jonathan is the only one pretending not to know this. So then the other podcast man, he talks about his light eyes, but he doesn't play football like a light skin. I don't even know what that means. Like, even if I was into sports, I still don't think I would know what that means. There are people who are light skinned and play football well, and then there are people who are dark skinned and play football well. And same for people who don't play football well. There are people who are dark skinned who don't play football well, and then there are people who are lighter skin tones and don't play football well. And I think Jonathan Owens falls into this category because I looked up his statistics and they weren't that great. His first year, he was a red shirt. He's always getting, which, okay, he had an injury. He was supposed to focus on recovery and stuff like that. But even up into that point where he needed to recover, he still wasn't that great. And it makes you wonder. I'm only 1 minute and 30 seconds into this video, and I'm already one, disgusted, and two, I feel like I'm losing brain cells just listening to this. And it just makes me wonder, why is Simone Biles potentially going to mix her DNA, her athletic DNA, with this underachiever? Why I say that? He mentioned that he was athletically a late bloomer. He didn't really start blossoming until his senior year of college. And I'm just wondering, I think he's being a bit easy on himself when it comes to that. But let's just get back to Simone a little bit. Okay, so basically, genetically and athletically, I don't understand why she's planning to combine her Olympic DNA with him. He's been cut 5 times. It's just not making sense. Like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes people, they see people with different color eyes, and I guess all of their other standards just go out of the window and it just doesn't matter anymore. But let's continue. The guy with the locks in the interview, he's the interviewer, he says, yeah, how did you pull someone like Simone Biles? And then he has the nerve to say, how did she pull me? That's the question. That is so embarrassing. And he said that in front of her face. And I really wish that the cameraman could have zoomed into Simone Biles' face. So, like The Office. So we could see what her expression was to this because I just really want to know what her facial expression was at that moment. So he begins to describe the encounter between the two of them, how they met and all that. Honestly, he should have just kept it short and said, I don't know. But he's insecure, clearly. You can see it on throughout this thing. He's been insecure his whole life. And no one knew who he was. Like, I don't think anyone knew who he was like that until he married Simone Biles. Like at this point, he's Mr. Simone Biles. And just the way he described how they virtually met just seemed really, it seemed like he was trying to big up himself, boost his ego, and really, he is not that guy. He needs to calm down. And it's crazy because the people interviewing him doesn't even believe it, and neither do I. Like they don't believe that he didn't know who Simone Biles was. They don't believe anything that he's saying about how Simone Biles is lucky to have him because we all know he should be happy to be with Simone Biles. Look at him and his baby braids. What is he doing? He is not a toddler. I do not know why his hairstyle is like that. And I don't have any issue with braids at all. It's just that I am not too fond of him. And I realized the people that Simone Biles get with, this is right up her alley as far as like personality. And I think how he's using her is not a good look. And it's just, I don't think it's the best decision for herself, but she is grown. She makes her own decisions. So then this person, Mr. Simone Biles, says, I always say men are the catch. So then the podcaster wants to like kind of dig, the interviewer wants to kind of dig deeper into that just to clarify what he's saying. And he said, so you're saying that you didn't want Simone Biles. He said, if she had messaged me, I basically would have went on with my life. Like she didn't matter. This is your wife. And you're saying this about her. Like he just has no like, it doesn't seem like he had any initiative. He doesn't seem like he was really that into her until that date at the milk and cookies spot in Houston where people were taking pictures of her. Another thing that I thought was weird about Jonathan was when they went on the first date together, he asked, when he was quote unquote learning about her being a gymnast, he asked, who's your competition? And I'm just wondering, why is he asking who's your competition? Of course, she said herself because Simone Biles is that girl. So he's like, who's your competition? I'm wondering, why did he ask who's their competition? Like, what is the point of that? And maybe that's why he's not doing too great in football because he's always thinking about the next person instead of bettering himself as an athlete. Although, you do have opponents, there are rivals and stuff like that. But y'all get what I'm saying. She also was very thirsty. They matched on the app, right? She messaged him. He saw it. He didn't respond. Then he showered or did whatever. He came back and saw that she liked several pictures on his Instagram page and still didn't respond. She also acknowledges that he is currently Simone Biles' husband, but she says one day that he will eventually be Jonathan Owens and she will be Jonathan Owens' wife. I see where she's trying to go with this. I don't agree with it, and I'll tell you why. I feel like when you have two people and they get married and they each have their own people and they come together as two brands, they wouldn't each be like Jay-Z isn't Beyonce's husband. He's Jay-Z. And he also happens to be Beyonce's husband. And same for Beyonce. Beyonce is Beyonce. And she is also Jay-Z's wife. They're marital business partners. Okay. I feel like maybe that's more so what she should strive for when it comes to her relationship with this Jonathan Owens character. It just seems like she's okay with it. So let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments section below, okay? Bye.